They did it again. They did it again. This team never fails to amaze me. What a way to lose. What a way to lose. The Battle of Ontario. I'm Jake, and I'm back here with the post-game show. Leave your comments, your thoughts, whatever is going through your mind right now. Just leave it in the comments section. I'm going to get to it. I'm sure you have a lot on your mind right now, Leafs Nation. We got some of the regulars in here. We got Donnie. We got Pro Guide Entertainment. He says get rid of Anderson. Donnie says deeper, older, slower. Yeah, we're gonna 9 goals in 2 games. Way to go, Freddie. Hey, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to all of it. If you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button, hit the notification bell. We are back here on Maple Leafs Media. I'm your guy, Jake, and this is the post-game show of the Battle of Ontario, the first installment of this season. And the Maple Leafs, they did not bring their A game tonight, to say the least. There's a lot that we have to talk about. A lot. Dave says they're an embarrassment. I wouldn't say what's wrong with Matthews yet. Caden, no, you're not tripping. You're not tripping. This is the Bills Bunker. I'm Jake from the Bills Bunker, yes. So, yeah, Bills Bunker is my Buffalo Bills channel. So I won't be here for a post-game show tomorrow, just so you all know. There's bigger fish to fry with the Buffalo Bills tomorrow in the playoffs, but I will be doing a kind of a Monday and Saturday pre and post game in the middle on Sunday. So Joseph Clark, I agree with you here. Brody was awful. He didn't look very good tonight. We're gonna show all the clips, all the goals from tonight, and let's start off with the 3 stars of the game. Tonight's 3 stars of the game, you have Brady Tkachuk with a goal and 2 assists. Second star, John Tavares. He looks like he's going to have potentially a career year. I know it's 2 games in, but he just looks like he's in mid-season form already, and that's a huge advantage for him. And then Thomas Chabot. Thomas Chabot put up a goal, and he looked good defensively as well. As I said, continue dropping your thoughts in the comment section. We got can Marner shoot? Serious question. So Mitch Marner, he does want to take more shots this season, and that's something that we need to see it come to fruition. We definitely need to see it happen. Old School says, why is Spezza getting so much ice time? And at the end of the game, you saw Spezza, Thornton, and Simmons on to finish the game, and I think that's because with like under a minute left, we saw these veteran guys getting rolled out, and I guess you're just hoping that the veteran presence helps this team become clutch. I don't know. Clutch and the Maple Leafs, it doesn't go together in a sentence. So we'll see what happens with this team the rest of the way. Leafs are okay. We'll see. But Joseph Clark here says Chabot is good. Absolutely, he is. And Donnie, no, Riley wasn't a -7. It was Riley and TJ Brody combined. -7 in the plus-minus category from our top defensive pairing. That did not look like a top defensive pairing at all tonight. TJ Brody looked silly on a couple plays on definitely one of the goals. I'm going to get to the clips. Let's just start it off positively. Zach Hyman with his first goal of the season. This was reviewed, but it was ultimately a goal. Stick was under the crossbar. 1-0 Toronto. And then it became a back and forth game. Because Thomas Chabot, that's just a wicked shot. There's nothing Freddie can do on that one. Alex Kerfoot with a shot from the point.
Couldn't clear it out. Bank back now to Hall. Across the top is Kerfoot. He shoots, scores! Alex Kerfoot from the point, and Toronto.
So Alex Kerfoot, that was a wicked shot from the point, and I actually want to talk about that third line, because that third line that was one of the positives of this Maple Leafs team tonight. The third line looked really good to me. Just the way they were keeping the puck in the zone, and they were all over the place. Hyman is a workhorse. Alex Kerfoot, he's speedy. He can get the puck to people. This third line has a lot of potential, and I think it's going to be good for the rest of the season. It's probably one of the best third lines in the NHL. There's a lot that went wrong with this team, and the third line was one of the few positives here tonight. We got a lot of comments. Old School says Hyman is always good. He is. He's always one of the hardest working players on the ice. Absolutely. It is a team sport, Johnny. You can't blame it on one person out there. And I know who everyone wants to talk about. We'll talk about him. Frederik Andersen. He had 19 saves on 24 shots. But I don't think you can place all the blame on Frederik Andersen here. I know that he didn't make any really miraculous save. There's a couple nice saves he had, but he just really didn't look comfortable at all out there. Neither did this Maple Leafs defense in front of him, though. So many times he was screened in front of the net, and there's not much he could have done for some of these goals. Why do I think the Leafs got beat today? Because they just did not come out to play. They did not come out to play at all. There was effort from. It looked like they're just not giving it their full effort out there. I don't know. This is a good point here. They don't block shots. They don't hit anyone, and they play pond hockey. Well, let's talk about that because we'll get back to Freddie. I'm sure a lot of you guys want to talk about Frederik Andersen. The too many men on the ice. That had something to do with it. And you were saying physicality. The Senders have 33 hits tonight to the Maple Leafs 12. The Maple Leafs, Kyle Dubas, he brought in all these bigger names, these bigger bodies, Zach Bogosian, Wayne Simmons, Joe Thornton. He said that this team is going to be tougher to play against. And it has not looked like it through the first two games. It's just, this team, classic thing. We need to be more physical. Wayne Simmons is the only one that looks extremely physical out there. Wayne Simmons, at the end of the game, barking at the Ottawa Senators bench. He's trying to light a fire under this team. And he can't fight every single game to get the Leafs a spark. He can't do it. That's just not sustainable at all. That stat right here is unacceptable. We need to make more hits. Absolutely need to make more hits. Let's get to some comments here. Yeah, that is really awful. What do you think of Keefe playing Riley, Brody, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, and JT so much at the end of the game? They all looked gassed, and third line played the best the whole night. Well, for the last minute, it was you had Wayne Simmons, Joe Thornton, and Spez out there, and I think that's partly due to the fact because these guys were all gassed, yes, but you gotta have your top guys available for the end of the game, and it just nobody was generating anything. We couldn't keep the puck in the offensive zone to end the game, and we had 23 shots out there tonight. That's not going to beat any goalie. And Matt Murray looked damn good out there tonight. Austin says he feels like Robertson should come in tomorrow. Might be a good idea to try to give this team a spark. Nick Robertson, giving him the chance to play tomorrow, you know he's going to come and give you his A game. So it might be a good chance and a good opportunity for him. Tougher. Yeah, right. No, they aren't very much. They aren't tougher. Brody didn't look good out there. TJ Brody didn't look good out there. He made costly turnovers, and let's get back to the clips because they tell the whole story.
Norris back with it, brings it in deep for Patterson. The pass out of his reach. Zaitsev shoots, scores! Tipped by Kachuk.
Nikita Zaitsev's shot deflected by Brady Kachuk. How about this next one from Austin Watson?
Paul wins the battle for the puck. Slides it across. Coburn drops it back. Score! Austin Watson.
What was Zach Bogosian doing on that play? I know he's down in the shot blocking stance, but he went down way too early. That was bad. I hate calling people out, but Zach Bogosian yesterday or in the season opener against Montreal, 2 costly penalties. Tonight, that horrible shot block attempt. I'm pulling him out next game. I'm putting in Rasmus Sandin, or I'm putting in Mikko Lehtinen, giving one of these guys a chance, because that was sloppy play. Zach Bogosian has looked sloppy to start the season, and he's looked really slow. Jason Brooks says, sloppy defensive play. Absolutely. Joseph says, Ottawa is not tougher than the Leafs, and 33 hits to 12 is all you have to see. I mean, they might not be tougher, but they brought the intensity tonight. And the Maple Leafs did not. They lacked intensity. The Maple Leafs, Wayne Simmons is the tough guy on this team. And literally, we're just relying on Wayne Simmons to spark our guys. That's not sustainable at all. Not sustainable at all. Cindy says Jack Campbell plays tomorrow instead of Anderson. I would expect that to happen. I was going to expect it to happen either way, even if we won or lost tonight, due to the fact it's a back-to-back game. But he most likely will play tomorrow, yeah. And that's an opportunity for everyone who's getting everyone's getting pissed off at Frederik Andersen, allowing 19 goals or making 19 saves on 24 shots. I mean, Jack Campbell, let's see what he's going to do this year. It all starts tomorrow for Jack Campbell. Watch him get a shutout. It's possible. It's possible. Hopefully. Good day, everyone. That was the most embarrassing game since Zamboni Gate. Disrespectful. All respect to Sens fans. Yep, that was pretty embarrassing to have 3 goals scored on us in 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Does that sound familiar? I know it does. It hurts. Yep. Thank you. I agree with you guys here. Frederik Andersen, he looked out of position a couple times, but it was not all Frederik Andersen's fault out there tonight. It really wasn't. The defensive play was horrendous. It was an eyesore, and it made me want to rip out my eyeballs at times. It was horrible. It was horrible defensive play. Like, let's continue, because this is an example of it on this Chris Tierney goal.
6 skaters on 5. Zaitsev across to Kachuk, who's the extra skater. Feeds it across. Zaitsev shoots. That dribbles down in front. Puck, he score! Tierney taps it on with a penalty coming.
That was on TJ Brody's side of the ice, and what's he doing? He's looking at the puck instead of covering his man. That's just sloppy defensive play. Morgan Riley and TJ Brody, I don't think it's time to panic quite yet. It's their second game together. But this defensive pairing, it looks sloppy so far. Looks extremely sloppy. And I mean, another week or two of this, and yeah, there's definitely reason to be concerned. Give them a bit more time is what I'd say. Give them a bit more time to get it together. But that was horrendous out there. Yes, Jason Brooks, you're right. Kerfoot said it himself. That was at intermission. They left him out there to dry. There's comment here. Everyone's pretty pissed off, and I'm with you guys. I'm pissed off. That was bad. I got the Toronto scoring at the bottom here. Not too many players really impressed me this game from the Maple Leafs. Really not much impressed me at all. But how about this? The too many men on the ice. I think this is something that we need to address. Who's to blame for this? Is it Sheldon Keefe? I don't think so. I don't think that that's Sheldon Keefe's fault. Honestly, this is just miscommunications, and it's stupid penalties that's something you do at novice or peewee hockey. That level. Once you're past that, that shouldn't be happening. Once you reach bantam, it should not happen. That is stupid miscommunications, stupid errors that are going to cost this team. 2 straight games to start the season, you take too many men on the ice penalty? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. That's unacceptable. We got some comments here. Joseph Clark, as always, hit the like button and smash the sub button. Hit the notification bell up there. You'll be notified every time we are here on Maple Leafs Media. So Donnie says coaches get fired over too many men on ice. 10 minutes in, I was very confident. It looked like we were playing a peewee team. But give the Sens credit. It turned around and they pulled our pants down. The wheels fell off totally. The Maple Leafs choked. The Maple Leafs choked, and the Maple Leafs got outplayed. We got outplayed. From the second period on, we got outplayed by the Senders. Absolutely got outplayed. TJ Brody was bad tight. Everyone's going to get on TJ Brody. I can already start to see it. TJ Brody, that was just a horrendous performance we saw from TJ Brody and Zach Bogosian. The 2 new pieces we brought in to help solidify this blue line, this defensive unit, they haven't looked so promising yet. Not even a bit. Yeah, Donnie, that's a great point. First game in 310 days, the Senders got their legs, and it wasn't close. We led a team who is at even more of a disadvantage because they haven't played in that long. The Maple Leafs, at least they made it to the bubble in the qualifying round. The Senators weren't even there. So they've got extra rust on them. And they just, it wasn't even a factor. The Maple Leafs looked stupid out there. Sens are like that bad team always play during the season that you thought was a joke, but then they whip you. The Senders looked better than us tonight. Better than us. Bogosian was better tonight, but should have hit a couple times. I mean, I didn't really think Bogosian was much better tonight personally. I was just what Henny said. Disappointment. I was disappointed. Leafs make me sad. They really like to make us sad, don't they? They just they get your hopes up. They get your hopes up. They give you a 2-1 lead, and then they just allow 3 goals in under 5 minutes. How does that do that? How does that happen? Jason says if the Sens play like that, they may end up with a playoff spot. If the Sens play like that tomorrow, the Leafs are gonna be a 1-2 team, and the Leafs are gonna lose to the team that's supposed to be the worst in our division twice to start off the season. It's unacceptable. Jolly old Santa Claus says, I hope Keefe after the game ripped them in the dressing room. They need it, really. They absolutely need it. They need to be told everything they did wrong out there tonight. Like, if it wasn't a back-to-back tomorrow, I'd have these guys skating laps, conditioning practice. Josh Butterworth, we have a Sens fan in here. Whoa. Yep. Welcome to the channel. It's all fun and games. It's until the Leafs, they do that. The Maple Leafs tough way to play last night or tonight. We're gonna continue with the show here with the highlight clips and the low light clips. So this is the defensive play that really, really annoyed me. What are you doing? What are you doing? 3 guys in front of the Maple Leafs net. 3 guys. I got to replay it. Matthews gives it to Brody. And Brody gives it away. And then there's literally no effort. Just, that was horrible. And if you put that on Frederik Andersen, you don't know hockey. You can't blame Frederik Andersen for that. That was horrendous defense. Wow. What can the Leafs do to rebound tomorrow? They need to bring the intensity. And I think that they really need to bring the intensity, obviously. Wayne Simmons needs to be an X factor tomorrow. He needs to get under the skin of the Ottawa Senators to start the game. Give momentum to the Maple Leafs. Give them that spark real nice and early. We saw it at the end of the game that the Maple Leafs and the Senators, the Battle of Ontario, the blood was starting to get pumping. They're starting to really feel the intensity, and I thought that there was going to be a scrap at the end of the game. There was a lot of barking back and forth, but ultimately, it's going to be a game tomorrow, and we're going to see this matchup a lot in this season. So Wayne Simmons, the Maple Leafs, we need to get under their skin tomorrow. We need to agitate them, and we need to come out and play with a lot of intensity if we want to win. William Bennett says Anderson should have been pulled on the third goal. He allowed 3 goals on like 19 shots. Frederik Anderson was not the reason we lost this game tonight. Frederik Anderson, he looked sloppy. I'll give you that. He looked sloppy and out of position at times, but this defense was sloppy and out of position all night long. TJ Brody, Zach Bogosian, Morgan Riley, I'm calling you guys out. This defense needs to be better in front of Frederik Anderson. That was horrendous defense. The Leafs need to work on attention to detail. You're absolutely right, Jason. We're going to show the final goal of the game, and it was a Maple Leafs goal. So hip, hip, hooray. Let's go.
Holds the line to Matthews. Across to Martin. That's poked away by Zaitsev, but not out. Tavares walks in and shoots, scores! John Tavares, power play goal, and Toronto.
John Tavares on the power play. I mean, John Tavares, he's going to have a really good year this year. He's been one of the few bright spots for this Maple Leafs team through 2 games. I think he might have a career year. I know it's early, but he might have a career year. So continuing with some comments here. Let's get to the comments section. Matthews was a -6 tonight. Bogosian out, Sandin in, and put Robertson in there, even though I thought VC was good. I think if you put Robertson in, you can move Hyman to the first, and the third line will still be great with Robertson. You don't take out Jimmy Vesey for Nick Robertson. You can take someone else out, but Jimmy Vesey's, I think that he's just too valuable to this team. You don't take out Jimmy Vesey. You don't do that to the second line chemistry. That second line has been the best line for the Maple Leafs. You don't do that yet. You put in Robertson. You can bring in. You can take out someone else if you're going to put in Robertson. Maybe Spezza. Maybe Spezza could have a night off tomorrow. Bogosian out. I'm with you on that. Bogosian, those 2 penalties in the first game of the season, and then he's just looked sluggish, slow, and just that block shot attempt was horrendous. There's a lot that went wrong in Zach Bogosian. He hasn't helped the Maple Leafs cause yet. So yeah, I'd give playing time to Rasmus Sandin tomorrow. Old School says we need to hate the other team. It's the Battle of Ontario. This is the All-Canadian division, the North division. We should hate everybody. We should hate all these teams, and it should show with our play. Sens were just getting their legs together. The Leafs have already hit their season peak. I don't think we've hit our season peak yet. I've still got a lot of belief in this team, but Senders, you're right. They were just getting their feet under them. Bogosian is a great player. Think of how he has played over the years. I'm sensing some sarcasm here. Robertson is too small. We have too many players like that. Robertson's a small body, but he plays like he is a big body. He plays with so much intensity, and he just brings that extra spark to this team because he's always flying up and down the ice. He's a workhorse, just like Zach Hyman, kind of. He's always trying to do things. Rusty Nail says, Robertson should replace Barabanov. That's a good way of getting Robertson into the lineup as well. Barabanov, Spezza. I wouldn't take out VC for him though. Jason Brooks says I'd say give it a game, 4 or 5, and I think they'll get the chemistry. Yes, that goes for everybody, and specifically the people I'd be talking about with this comment is TJ Brody and Morgan Riley. We've all been waiting for Morgan Riley to get a defense partner, an actual defense partner, and we need to see that because that sounded very promising at the beginning of the season. These are two guys who like to go up and join the rush, and that's scary because they need to key off each other. And at the beginning of the season, they just don't have it. It's too early. They don't have that chemistry yet. So let them get it together. Let's not panic about that first line, but the first defensive unit, but it really didn't look bad. It didn't look good at all. Sludge Hockey says Brody isn't for Riley, and that very well may be so. We could try someone else with Riley. Maybe a name that I want to see in the NHL, and I don't know if he's ready yet, would be Timothy Liljegren. A right-handed shot with Morgan Riley. That might be too much to ask to give him that position, though. But we're running out of options, honestly. This team doesn't have any real top options to put with Morgan Riley. You can put Muzzin with him. You can put Brody with him. You can put Bogosian with him. You could put these people with him, but which is going to be the most viable option? What's going to be the most viable option? I don't know. It's a question we've been asking for way too long, though. It's really annoying. Why they got rid of Hainsey? Hainsey, he was old, yeah, but he was like one of the better options we've had for Morgan Riley's defense partner. This is tough. Yeah, I mean, it's too early to say we want to get rid of players. It's too early to say that. Definitely too early to say we want to get rid of players. It's only game 2. We got to back this team. We got to keep the support for this team through the thick and the thin. I know, Leafs Nation, you've been patient for a long time. Stay patient. Stay patient. It's game 2 of the season. I want it just as bad as you. You're funny. You're funny. We'll see you Monday night, but it's definitely not true. It's definitely not true. Just look at the statistics. Look at the spot they were drafted in. Matthews was drafted first overall for a reason. I don't think that's even close. Not even a close comparison. Jason Brooks says he would try Muzzin with Riley. Muzzin is more of a defensive player. I would like that pairing too. I think. But we got to see it. We got to see it work out. I remember Jake Muzzin playing with Drew Doughty back in LA. That's something that could work. That's a good point. Leafs will be 4-1 in 3 games. Mark my words. That's from Joseph Clark, aka Clarky Snipes. So he thinks that the Leafs are going to rebound, and I do too. I hope so. My hopes are high for this team. So, what was the biggest concern for you tonight? Just give me your biggest concern tonight. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell. This is frustrating. Maple Leafs fans, this is frustrating for us. Same old Maple Leafs. Classic Maple Leafs allowing 3 goals in 4 minutes and 35 seconds. It was 2-1 for the Leafs. It was 2-1. Things were going well. And then the Senators score 3 goals in under 5 minutes. A meltdown. A Maple Leafs meltdown. Classic. I was so upset with game 2. I could not watch it. Muzzin needs to be a lot better, too. I mean, maybe Line Bogosian with Muzzin. They're both slow. I don't want to put the... No. I don't think you want to put Muzzin with Bogosian. I don't think that'd go well. Those are our two biggest defensemen and two of our slower defensemen. I don't think that would work well at all. I think they'd just get zoomed by. Joseph Clark says the fact that 20 people watching and only 12 likes, smash that like button. My biggest concern was the defensive play and attention to detail. The defensive play was horrendous. I'll continue saying this all night long. TJ Brody and Morgan Riley combined for -7 plus minus. A -7 plus minus between your two top defensemen. Zach Bogosian looked out of position and looked silly. And in his first game, he just took two stupid penalties that cost his team. Travis Dermott, he's taken 2 penalties in 2 games. Like, this defense, there is no bright spot on this defense. TJ Brody's turning the puck over and just not being in position, not making defensive plays. This team needs to get their stuff together really quickly. Old School says, my concerns: lacks toughness, lacks good defense, and soft goalie. So the soft goalie, I'm going to address this right to left, backwards. Soft goalie, you know what? We know what we have in Frederik Andersen. And I think that Frederik Andersen gets too much heat from Maple Leafs fans. Absolutely gets too much heat from Maple Leafs fans. Frederik Andersen, the play in front of him has been so soft for so many years. And considering what he's done for this team with that defensive core in front of him, we should be praising Freddie Andersen. I know 19 saves on 24 shots. It doesn't look good, but that defense is horrendous. Lack good defense, exactly what I just said. Lack toughness. We can't rely on Wayne Simmonds all damn year to give this team a spark. He's the only one who's got real emotions out there. He's the only one fighting for victory. He's yapping at the bench. No one's backing him up. We need more toughness. I thought that Wayne Simmonds would be enough toughness, but it's clearly not. We need more people to back him up. Super Mario Harvey. To be real, Maple Leafs deserve a Stanley Cup. Their fans need it from a Jets fan. We need it. 1967. Decades before I was even born. It's horrible. Jets fans, you need a Stanley Cup too. Y'all deserve one too. Questions coming in through the comment section. Bogosian can turn his game around for sure. I love Andersen, but what if the defense gets really good again and he still plays bad? Like maybe he lost his confidence. Okay, well, when was the defense ever really good? Serious question. When was this Maple Leafs defense ever really good? Like, I think that Bogosian still can turn his game around. I hope so. But I would give him the night off tomorrow night and let him think about what he can do differently. And I would let Rasmus Sandin have an opportunity against a bunch of young talent in the Ottawa Senators organization. Frederik Andersen, he might, we'll see. We'll have to see how the defense in front of him plays. Old School says 1993, 1994 defense was good. Once again, before I was even born, nothing good happens for this Maple Leafs team. Trade for Shabbat, 2 first-rounders, and Robertson for Shabbat. I would love to have Thomas Chabot on this team. I would love to have Thomas Chabot on this team. He's unreal. Johnny says, my concern is the fan base. Too much pressure put on the team. And that's definitely a concern. We do put too much pressure on them. But that's just something that comes with playing in Toronto. If you're going to play in Toronto for the Maple Leafs organization, the storied organization, you're going to have to deal with the fans. You're going to have to deal with us. I mean, it's what we do. We overanalyze things. It's only game 2, and we're all getting on our team. That was, don't get me wrong, that was horrible what we just witnessed. but we get on the team. Rusty Nail says you hit it on the nail. Plain and simple, the Riley Brody combo isn't working. Absolutely, it's not working. They need to play better together as a unit. They need to feed off each other better, and this team relies heavily upon their success. This team's success relies heavily on TJ Brody and Morgan Riley cleaning it up defensively. And if they can't clean it up, this team's going to struggle. In a Canadian division, they're going to struggle a lot because there's a lot of firepower on all these Canadian teams. And we saw it tonight with Ottawa Senators. More comment sections here. As an Aussie, my hockey knowledge isn't as good as you guys, but for the last 18, the Leafs' transition between offense and defense is poor. They never look set and never look confident. They didn't. In the offensive zone, they couldn't keep the puck in the offensive zone at all. For the last 2 minutes of the game especially, it was just in and out, and I thought that the puck was going to go in the Maple Leafs net from the Senators zone so many times. That was bad. I'm not really happy with anything this game, but I'll talk about what I'm happiest about, and that's our power play. Our power play looks extremely good, looks lethal, and it definitely should look lethal. And the fact that our third line looks so good. I love the way that these lines have looked. The first line with Jumbo Joe and Zach Hyman filling it in, I like the way that they rotate. The second line, Jimmy Vesey, John Tavares, and William Nylander. Best second line in the NHL. You heard it here first. Best second line in the NHL. That second line could be a first line unit on so many different teams. Jimmy Vesey complements William Nylander and John Tavares extremely well. I love that second line. And the third line was really good tonight. I thought the third line looked pretty good out there tonight. Alex Kerfoot, Ilya Mikheyev, Zach Hyman. These guys are workhorses, and they were keeping the puck in the offensive zone for a long time, and it was tough on the third line of the Senators. They couldn't match up with them. It was an absolute mismatch. This third line was one of the few positives tonight. We got a bunch of comments flowing in here tonight. Let's see what's. It's weird you beat us, but not the Sens. LMAO. I mean, weirder things have happened, right? Weirder things have happened. The Habs game, Toronto was strong offensively. Defense to me was better first game, but still not good enough. The defense hasn't been good enough at all. The defense has not been good at all. Not at all. It hasn't impressed me at all. This defensive unit, it's looked porous. It's looked bad. It's looked messy all night, all season long through the first 2 games of the season. Couple more comments here, and then I'm gonna head out. Could Toronto use Mikko Lehtinen as a trade in the deadline and get someone a bit more physical for a fair price, but somehow isn't so? We haven't even seen Mikko Lehtinen play in the NHL. Let's pump the brakes on saying trade Mikko Lehtinen. Let's pump the brakes on saying Mikko Lehtinen's an elite defender. Let's pump the brakes on saying anything about Mikko Lehtinen. Let's see him play in the NHL first. We saw him in the blue and white scrimmage. That's about it. Let's see him play in an actual game. Give him a chance. Yes, give him a chance. We got to give him a chance before we even speculate about trading. Who's going to want to trade for a player they haven't seen play in the NHL? Toronto is never good at the beginning of a season. They haven't had any exhibition games. Give them at least 5 games. Yeah, but Selman, you can't use that. You can't use that excuse. Nobody's had any exhibition games, and the Ottawa Senators haven't played in over 300 days. It's been longer for the Senators than the Maple Leafs. It's not an excuse. I'm sorry, it's not. It's just not an excuse. I wouldn't change a thing for tomorrow's game. Same team, go and do it again, this time with heart. We'll see. That very well could be the philosophy that Sheldon Keefe uses in tomorrow's game, and it wouldn't surprise me at all, but I'd be more willing to make some changes defensively. Definitely would be more willing to make changes to our defense. I'd be willing to pull Zach Bogosian out. I've seen enough from him in the first 2 games, and I'm not saying he's done for the season. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I haven't liked what I've saw from him in the first 2 games, and you got to call him out on it. Hold him responsible for it. Leafs need a top 4 defenseman to play with Muzzin on the right side. If you got to trade Kerfoot and Hall, then so be it. Also, Thornton has to be switched to the third line. That's a lot of changes. Let me just absorb this for a second. Leafs need a top 4 defenseman to play with Muzzin on the right side. Leafs need a top 2 defenseman to play with Morgan Rielly. Let's get that clear. I think that if you put Brody with Muzzin, that might be better than Brody with Rielly. And then you have a top pairing partner for Morgan Rielly. But that defense is just a mess. It's really a mess. If you got to trade Kerfoot and Hall, then so be it. Also, Thornton has to be switched to the third line. That's a lot. Put Lettinen in. You got to put Lettinen or Sandin in my opinion. One of the two, whichever has looked better throughout this whole offseason leading up to this. We got to put one of them in for Zach Bogosian, in my opinion. I don't want to be so quick to just pull Zach Bogosian out, but just look at what he's done in the first 2 games. It's been bad. So it's just been bad. Silent Pulse says Brody just looked like he didn't want to be out there. Love Joe, but they need speed. But they need the speed and grind of Hyman. I do like seeing Matthews throw a body hit. So yeah, TJ Brody, he didn't look good tonight. And I'm going to show you the worst play of the game from TJ Brody. Right here. So he just gives the puck to the Ottawa Senators defender and then kind of just scrams in front of the net. And what's he doing there? He looked lost out there. And miscommunications between him and Morgan Rielly, it was evident. It was evident tonight. It was evident in the first game of the season against Montreal. They need to clean it up. They absolutely need to clean it up. He said, jolly old Santa Claus says Brody with Muzzin could work. It could, but then who do you put with Morgan Rielly? It's just a big circus. It's a circus. Let's figure something out. Please get some sustainable defensive play for us. First line is looking like garbage. That's why I said Thornton has to be switched on the third line. The first line hasn't done anything through 2 games, really. They really haven't done much through the first 2 games. I say that Joe Thornton, he does look slower than these guys, but you can't place all the blame on Thornton. I think that veteran leadership and that presence, still you got to give him more time. You got to give him more time together. He's just getting used to playing with these guys on the first line at full game speed. Give him more time before you really juggle the lines too much, but you also have to know when to pull the plug on a line and when it's simply not working. I think you wait until 4 or 5 games into the season before you do that. It's too hard to judge off just 2 games. How about the ex-Leafs showing up tonight? Yeah. Yep. Nikita Zaitsev. I mean, I wouldn't want him back. Connor Brown. I'd take Connor Brown back. It's tough. Jake, should Sheldon Keefe try Bogosian with Rielly? Bogo worked really well with Hedman in Tampa. Can't do any worse than the Rielly Brody combo at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, this is something I thought about before the season even started. Do you put Bogosian with Rielly because he played with Hedman? But then you also got to consider the fact that Morgan Rielly, as much as we all love him, he's not Victor Hedman. And can Morgan Rielly really carry the weight of Zach Bogosian as well? Not that Zach Bogosian can't carry his own weight, but that's a lot. that's a big role for him to play for a whole season. Doing it for a bit in the playoffs, 20 games in the playoffs it's a different story than doing it for a whole 56 game season. John says Justin Hall play with Riley. Justin Hall's been impressive. Justin Hall's been impressive towards the end of last season, and he was pretty good in the first game. Justin Hall's made some standout plays, but I don't know. That's a big role. That's a big ask for Justin Hall. Something needs to change if Brody and Riley don't get it together, though. The Leafs need an elite defensive defenseman. Doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, they do. That's been the need, the glaring need on this team for a long time. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. Hall is playing better than his contract. Absolutely is. Absolutely is. Marner for Drew Doughty Law. I don't think that really works out for either team. I really don't think that works out for either team. Riley can't play defense unless we get Nick Lidstrom. Nothing will change. Morgan Riley's been the pillar for this defensive unit for years, and as bad as it's been, he's been the one consistent guy here throughout the whole entire thing. So let's not blame everything on Morgan Riley, but just him and TJ Brody need to get on the same page. They absolutely need to get on the same page together. So let's hope for that to happen. Let's hope for that to happen. No, thank you. This is all for the post-game show here tonight. Just it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow for Maple Leafs fans. Tough way to start the season. We had an ugly win against Montreal. Win's a win though. And then the second game of the season, we go out there and do this against the Ottawa Senators, the Battle of Ontario. Yeah. So that's all for tonight. There will not be a post-game show tomorrow. I have the Bills Bunker YouTube channel. You can check that out if you haven't already. Bills Bunker, I'm going to be doing a post-game show for the Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens tomorrow night. But I will be back here on Sunday. So Sunday, I'm doing a show at probably around 7 or 8 p.m., and it will be a breakdown of what we saw in tomorrow's game against the Senators and a preview of what to expect against the Winnipeg Jets on Monday night. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys Sunday. Go Leafs, go tomorrow. We'll see how the lineup changes, if it does at all. I wouldn't expect too much change, but let's stay positive. Let's get behind our guys. Go Leafs, go. I will see you guys next time on Maple Leafs Media. This is Jake, and thank you for watching.